Over the past weekend, there was news and leaks floating around Reddit and Discord groups that XDefiant had passed its submission and the game would be launching very soon. These leaks were quickly struck down by the XDefiant team, and not many people were talking about them. Without knowing if the info was true or not, many fans were confused if the game was actually approved and why they didn't hear anything from Mark. Just yesterday, we received an article from Mark that clearly indicated that the game was still not approved and was still undergoing the process. However, today, once again, we got another piece of information from Mark that clarified some confusion with the wording of yesterday's update. If you read through the update that Mark released yesterday, it had stated that the game could still be released in mid to late September if all went well. However, with it being published on the 11th, this is already almost the middle of September, and without the game being resubmitted yet, this seemed pretty much impossible. However, it is now confirmed that this article was not written yesterday. Instead, it was written over a week ago and just published yesterday. This is what Mark had to say today. Just an FYI, I wrote this post last week, so the timing mentioned as to when we would be submitting the next build is less than what it says in the tweet. 1 week now, not 2. Also, to clarify, we didn't expect to pass the first submission. It was possible, but not likely, and that is very normal for any game. And, as for our next submission, everything is on track and going well. But again, there is a chance for a day 1 patch, but we won't know until after the next submission. Back in July, Mark had also noted that most games will not pass their first submission, so this just reiterates what he had previously told us. Before we get any further into the video, if you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button as it helps out a ton. Now, let's get back into it. So this basically confirms that the game will be put back into submission by the end of this week if all goes well. If we look at what he said in yesterday's article, this will take roughly 1 week for them to review. He had previously mentioned that their first submission took about 1 week to be reviewed, so we can assume this submission will be around the same time, if not a little bit quicker, because they'll be focused on the bugs that they realized from this first one. If all is approved by the end of, we'll say, mid to next week, we could see the game releasing at the earliest the week of September 25th. Now, this is best case scenario. He has also hinted multiple times that a day 1 patch would need to be released. It would push the game back. We can assume that since he's mentioned it and made a hint at it 2 days in a row now, it's the most likely scenario. Although he doesn't want to come out and say the game is delayed, with that being said, the game will most likely be delayed, and the most likely release date for that would be the week of October 9th. Allowing them time to complete the day 1 patch and market the game for probably roughly a week to a week and a half to allow people time to preload and get back into the hype of the game. Both scenarios have the game releasing in less than 1 month time. Continue to be patient as it is almost here. That's all the news that I have for today. Make sure to hit the like button and leave a comment below on your thoughts. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.